So good to have you with me this week on Word of the Week. I say Word of the Week because I'm expecting these words to carry you for at least 7 days. I mean that. So if you hear them and you meditate on them, they may take you further than that. Let's get to the one for this week. Psalm 85, verse 8. It says, I will hear what God the Lord will speak, for he will speak peace unto his people and unto his saints. But he will not let them turn again to their folly. You know, when God visits you and when he visits me with peace and breakthrough and healing and wholeness, he is not just a powerful God, but he is so smart. And because he's so smart, there's just some people and some places he doesn't want us to ever return to again, some ways of thinking. In other words, the reason that he touched you and got you out of where you were, and the reason that he's been doing this wonderful work of grace in you, isn't for you or I to continue to keep going backwards, re-entering seasons we shouldn't, places we shouldn't, relationship we shouldn't. So what he does is he takes it upon himself to help us out some. Remember, God just didn't leave us here with just the Bible, promises, our faith, and say, you do it. He left us with the Holy Spirit who said he will help. And that's exactly what this word is this week for you. It's to help you see that all through the scriptures, God took great initiative to help his people not return to their former ways. In other words, when they left Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, they were disobedient and they left, they ate of the forbidden fruit, the curse came, the snake, and they were expelled from the garden. But what did God do? He put an angel at the front door of the garden, never letting them get back into that garden again. You say, why would he do that? Because they would then eat the tree of life and be eternally damned. And God knew that they were weak enough to do that, so he placed an angel there. Oh my, a powerful angel who would not let them re-enter into that again. When Elijah was camped by the brook and being fed by the birds and drinking of the water, didn't have to go hunting, didn't have to go fishing. All he had to do was just camp out and drink and eat. And one day the brook just dried up. Had the brook not dried up, then Elijah may have just found the comfort zone of the easy way of living and not the miracle supernatural way. So God left that brook just kind of dry up, and so Elijah would have to move into a new season. It's just the way that God seems to work with our lives. He knows that we don't need to look backwards, but we need to look forwards. That we don't want to get stuck in a season that's going to prohibit transformation and growth. And so oftentimes he'll change the dynamics of a relationship. If someone is meaning too much to you and they're replacing him in your life, then he will alter that. If it's a place, he'll alter that. If it's a job, if it's a church, anything that comes between you and him or you and the plan that he has for you can be abbreviated, only because God takes very serious your life, your direction, and your ultimate purpose here. Because why? That's where you're fulfilled. That's where longevity reigns for you. That's where you are absolutely, I can't believe this is happening to me. Undisputed, undeniable favor when you begin to move in the purpose that God has for you. Oh, it's just amazing how he gets in. He told the blind men, he healed 2 blind men, Jesus. He touched them, healed them. They were so excited. Oh, we can see, we can see. And then he looked at them, and here's what he said. Do not go back to your hometown. But Lord, I got a car in the garage. I have a sprinkler system. I have a built-in swimming pool. You don't understand. He didn't care about that. He knew that if they took their new eyesight back into an old neighborhood, that they would lose their eyesight. And so he blocked that entrance back into the old neighborhood. Sometimes God has to do it for us, and we think, what's going on here? We call them closed doors. We call them, I don't know what's going on. I can't seem to get a hold of him. I can't seem to make contact. I went back there and it's just different. All of those little innuendos sometimes is the Holy Spirit saying, I'm protecting you. I'm keeping you from going backwards. I want you to hold your ground that you've gained, and now I want you to take new ground this year. It says that he will speak peace unto his people, but he will not let them turn again to their folly. Isn't God good? All I can say is this week, I want you to be thinking about this verse, because God is saying, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to do my best to convey to you that we're going forward. That's where the future is. That's where hope is. That's where the best is yet to come is. And I'm going to help you not get stuck by retreating to a former place. I know it seems like that former place was all that and all that, but sometimes when you go back there, you realize it wasn't all that. And a former relationship, it wasn't all that. Your future is where it's all at. God has brought you this far. He's invested in you this much to take you somewhere. Listen to me, you've never been, to do what you've never done. Don't get no better than that. That's your word for the week.